Hey everyone, so today I'm going to do a video on a bad experience, kind of like a story time video. But before we get started, I want to show you two things that I'm really loving right now and then my nails. So, okay, my nails first before anything. It is C&D Shellac in Creekside. And then Obviously, I picked up a few pieces from the Disney mini collection. I do have the entire collection, but out of the whole collection, my two favorite pieces would be the lipstick and the Minnie's Inner Glow Luminizing Blush. And I will show you what it looks like. Just a really nice, oh my god, is it even on camera? Pink, and I love the embossed Minnie on it. And I also love the packaging that it comes with, this cute little like mini charm, which I have been using one on my phone. And then the lipstick looks like, sorry, I'm really bad at unpackaging. Oh, looks like that. And it's got a cute little mini head. I haven't used it yet, but I like it, obviously. Yeah, so that's out of the way. Now let's get started on what the video is actually going to be about. So, yeah, so it starts off with a really bad Uber experience that I had a few months ago. So, a few months ago, I was leaving Toronto, like I do quite often, and I requested an Uber, and on the Uber app on your phone, you're able to see the make of the car, the license plate, a picture of the person driving it and whatnot. So as I requested it, it said that I was going to be getting into a giant like Ford F-150 pickup, and I don't really need a huge F-150 pickup if it's just one person as myself. So I canceled the request, and in hopes that there was another Uber driver around, and I requested again and I got the same driver, and at this point I wasn't going to waste any more time looking for a driver that I really wanted, or a car that I really wanted, since I had a flight to catch. So he arrives and I get into his car, and it's like a really nice, expensive, fully loaded pickup truck. And he says, "Where are you going?" And I tell him, like, Pearson, Toronto, the airport, Terminal 1, departures for Canada. So he starts driving, and I've been there a few times, so I kind of know the way that you're supposed to go to the airport, especially if you're leaving from the core of downtown. So about 5-10 minutes in, he's going a really strange, random way, and I'm thinking to myself, like, okay, like, relax. He should know what he's doing. This is his job. So we're driving, and there's only like one major highway to get to the airport. So he's on the highway, and this is almost like 15-20 minutes into the ride, and it usually takes about anywhere from 30 to 35 depending on the traffic and the time of day that you were leaving. And I was leaving quite late at night for the last flight at 10:55 to departing to Vancouver. So he misses the exit, and I'm like, okay. And I tell him, like, oh, like, you missed the exit. And he, at this time, kind of like snapped at me and said, like, I know where I'm going. So I said, okay, like, you know what, just relax, Christina, you're gonna get to your damn flight. So now he's driving like these random back roads with no lights, there's no traffic, and that's really strange, especially if you're near an airport. An airport is like 24-hour run. There are always people around, there are always cars around, there's lights everywhere. And at this point I start having a slight panic attack as my flight is leaving in like literally less than half an hour. So by this point they're not even gonna let me through security, because you need to be at your gate approximately 30 to 40 minutes prior to your flight. So at this point, I'm starting to get like a little bit nervous. He's going off these random back roads. He's doing a left turn, a right turn, a left turn, a left turn, a left turn. And he eventually ends up in this field slash parking lot, literally in the middle of nowhere. It was like minus 30 degrees. It was pitch black. And he just pulls into this field and he stops the car. And at this point, I'm like raising my voice now. I'm freaking out. I'm screaming like, where are we? You said you knew where you were going. My flight leaves in like 20 minutes at this point now, and I'm freaking out. And as if my level of anxiety could not get any worse, he shuts the car off and he locks the doors. And I am sitting in the back seat. So those skinny little benches in the back seat of a pickup truck. I don't know where I am. I go into my Uber app. I'm like not even on the grid, on the route of where to get to the airport. It's like 10:30 at night, minus 20 degrees out, minus 30 degrees. It's pitch black. There's not a light in the distance. And he's just hunched over the steering wheel, like looking for somewhere to bury me soon. Or that's what I thought. So I'm like screaming and panicking, telling him to let me out of the car. And then I look out through his front window because I'm sitting in the back, and I see these headlights kind of like turn a corner slowly and they're approaching, and I'm like, this is my chance to like get out alive or wherever I am. So I started screaming at the top of my lungs, and I know that sounds like super over dramatic, but I didn't know where I was. My flight was leaving in like literally minutes. I wasn't even near the airport because it was like 15 minutes past the exit that we were supposed to take. So I'm screaming, and like his window was open like an inch. And I guess because it was like so quiet outside, the person who was driving toward us and by us heard me screaming. He stopped his car and he got out of his car and demanded to know what was going on. And I was screaming and telling this older man who came out of his car that I didn't know where I was. My Uber driver has like led me here and won't let me out of the car, and it's not even making... That's a really loud truck that just drove by. Yeah, he wasn't letting me out of the car. He wasn't even trying to make an effort to get to the airport. So this man is like demanding that he let me out of the car and unlock the door, or else he's gonna call the police, obviously. And he walks around to my side of the car and he's yanking on the door, and the Uber driver that I had eventually opened the door to let me out. And, oh, sorry. At this point, this man tells me to get out of the car and he's going to handle everything. And he takes my suitcase and he tells me to get into his van. And I noticed he was wearing one of those safety vest things. I ended up finding out that he works for Air Canada in like their maintenance private jet department. Like, what are the chances? What are they? They are like slim to none. So yeah, so he gets my luggage, he gets me in this car. We literally just leave my Uber driver there. Literally just left him there. And then like, he still charges me. Like, I get the email on my phone that he charges me. What? So anyways, like, I am like crying and I'm telling this man that like I need to get to my gate. And he's like, what time do you leave? And I tell him like, 10:55. And he tells me like, we might be able to make it. And at this point, he's on the phone, this man who like saved me. He is on the phone, or like his little walkie-talkie, asking if like he can take a route, whatever, onto the tarmac to get me to my flight, as I had like minutes and seconds to spare at this point. So basically, this Uber driver took me 15 minutes from the airport terminal. He took me behind a highway, behind the maintenance area of the airport. I don't know. So yeah, so this man is driving me as fast as he can. He's going back on the highway, and we get to the airport and it's like 10:53. My flight leaves in like 2 minutes. I'm not even at security. I'm not even at the check-in point, let alone at my gate. So he gets out of his car, he gets my suitcase, and he gets my suitcase and he's like bringing me through the airport to security. Thank God I already had checked in on my phone, so I had my boarding pass. He goes to security with me and he says that like there's been an emergency and that I need to get to my gate. So security does like a clearance on me. Yeah. And he's taking me to my gate, and it's like they're calling my name on like the PA system, like Air Canada flight 151 departure to Vancouver is now looking for passenger, blah, blah, blah. And he gets me to my gate, and I'm like literally shaking and like overwhelmed and like seconds to spare. And he, what feels like saved my life. I got his name, Eddie. I got his number. And when I land the next day, I called his supervisor and let his supervisor know that he was so amazing. He went above and beyond. He helped me get to my flight. He helped me get to my gate. He handled everything. And yeah, so the rest of the flight, like, I mean, I literally got on the plane. I was like that one person who's like late for a flight. And like everyone is like looking at me and I'm like crying and they're like thinking like, what is wrong with this girl? So it was a really uncomfortable and anxious 5-hour flight back home, where I just felt like so overwhelmed. But that is my horrible Uber experience story. I have taken Uber since then, but I like really make sure now that they know exactly where they're going. But yeah, that is my Uber story. And if you liked my story, comment down below or let me know through my social media. And I would love to do another story time, and it might not be as fun or exciting, but yeah, let me know. And I hope you guys like it, and I'll see you soon.